Hi, everybody. Welcome to Perk and Bark. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Zach.
And I already said this is Perk and Bark. And this is Lillian. Lily's joining us for the show today. We are talking about cameras.
Opera through a different lens is what we called it today. Yeah.
So as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different setup. So same space, but we're in our singing space technically today, because we have some videos to show you for our music.
Wow.
I know. Recently, we had the opportunity to participate in Opera on Tap Philadelphia. If you missed it, no worries. It is recorded. We'll post the link in the Facebook group after this.
If you're on Patreon, you already have the link.
That's right. You'll be able to see all the wonderful performers. I swear I had coffee today. And we're showing our performances from 2 nights ago.
From Friday. Yep.
Today.
That's what we're featuring today.
Yeah.
So normally, and we gave the spiel on Patreon, but for those of you who are not there, it's another plug. We obviously do this show live, and the reason that we wanted to do this show in the first place was to make it live as possible. I got a bug or something flying around. That was weird. There it is, right? Stuff gets weird.
Stuff is live.
And that's kind of the whole point. But we realized, though, given the opportunity to work with Opera on Tap, that there are some cool things that we can do when we get an extra shot at some stuff. Mm-hmm. Some things that we can do on the video as if we were a lighting designer.
We get to try on a lot of different hats.
Right. Different storytelling techniques. So we have 3 different videos, 2 of which we shot for Opera on Tap, and a third one which is going to be used by them as a promo, but we're also going to, feature it here. Shamelessly plug it. And they each kind of highlight some different things that we were able to do.
We'll take you behind the scenes and tell you a little bit about what each technique or a few of the techniques looked like, and there may have been a toilet paper roll involved. I'm not sure. You'll have to tune in to see the spotlight. You forgot.
I forgot about that. We didn't end up using the toilet paper roll.
Oh, that's right. It was part of the process.
It was a thing that occurred. Yeah. So, do we talk about coffee first?
Sure. Yeah. All right, little friend. Do you want down? She's like, yeah. She gets very camera shy.
She's also going to be in the featured in the thing, so don't worry. Right. She'll be there.
All right. So coffee today we got from Ultimo, which is a local to Philadelphia, I think. I want to say a local to Philadelphia
roastery
Thank you.
Cafe.
So this is what the bag looks like. Ultimo. Oh, there we go. Blinded, but this is El Quebradon. It's from Palestina, Colombia, and it's washed.
Which we've talked about.
So
there's no cherry fruit. Next week we're going to have one that's weird.
Super cool. And the tasting notes here are butterscotch, orange peel, savory.
Savory?
Yeah.
Which is wild, yeah.
We did it in the French press today.
Hits you in the face. But yeah, I love butterscotch flavor in coffee because it's so warm and fulvous in your mouth.
Fulvous.
Yeah. It's a word. It's a word.
I trust him because he was an English major in college, so I can't really tell. Look it up. Let us know in the comments. Yeah, is that a real word? Fulvous.
This means flannel-like. I think. Probably not. We're just going to be extemporizing.
But you're going to...
live performance, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just going to double, triple, quadruple down on it. It's a good time. So, I wanted to do the one about color first.
Which one is about color? Son pochi fiori?
The one about a particular color of flower.
Yeah. All right, so I think that I've done this on the show before. I honestly can't remember. But the video that I did, the piece that I did was Son pochi fiori from L'Amico Fritz by Mascagni. I know I did this for the show before, actually. Basically, this woman whose name honestly escapes me. I don't know why. Suzel. She is coming to Fritz's kingdom, his birthday party, for like lack of a better word. And she's bringing him flowers, bringing him violets in particular. And this piece is all about what the violets are saying to him and wishing him a happy birthday. Really is really what it comes down to. It's a really sweet piece.
But it is great. It's great. It's wonderful. And your performance is spot on for this one.
Thank you.
And I think part of that, again, is we're not jumping back and forth doing different things. And another thing that I wanted to highlight here is that we actually colorized the video so that it would fit the affect and the color of the piece. So we hope you enjoy. So there you go.
There you have it. My experience with this piece in particular, especially doing it for a recording, was really interesting. So as you can see, it's pretty much what we call a stand and sing. You don't have to do a whole lot because there's not a lot of action that's taking place in the piece. Something that was a challenge for me was not moving. Just staying still on stage is one of the most powerful and one of the most difficult things that you can do. So that's something that I struggle with that this piece has been really helpful with.
And it's really hard with a camera too, because with an audience, even a virtual audience, like you can feel people kind of go with you. So it's very spiritual in a way. Mm-hmm. And with a camera that just there, and with me, as we mentioned, holding a spotlight, like standing on a stool and holding a spotlight.
Yeah.
There's no real theater to it. It's odd. It's odd.
Mm-hmm. There's so much that you have to create in your own mind in order to, help yourself out in the best way possible, in the most effective way possible.
And it's easy to do too much because
Definitely.
you want something to like come on
Let's play, let's
give
play,
me
let's
give me
play.
something. Yeah. And it's just not there.
Mhm. But as you can see, there's a lot you can do with visual effects that
Yeah.
comes from up here.
It looks like I honestly think it looks like it was lighted that way. Like it was lighted with like a light purple, pink, magenta wash over it.
Even from, so if you notice they're right behind Zach, actually right back here. We have shutters on our windows, and so we opened up a few of those shutters to make it look like, forced perspective doors was what you had in mind?
Kind of, and just have different lines of light going across behind so that this same little bay window space looked a little bit different. And that's another sort of thing that was like, we could look at it in the camera, try it, change it, look at it again, try it, change it. And so, we spent half an hour, 25 minutes just doing that, getting the light in the room so that weren't really shadows, which again is something that's hard to do. I mean, we did a good job today, but there's minimal shadows, but it's hard to make it look like polished and organic.
Because normally you would have a team of people on stage dedicated to do just that, and they play with it during rehearsal. I'm talking set designers, lighting designers, costumers. All of this goes into the visual aspect of what opera is. So, or musicals, movies, I mean, you name
All of it, yeah. So it's fun to be able to play with that a little bit.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, we get to wear different hats.
Yeah. And so that was that one.
And speaking of shadows...
Oh, you want to do that one?
Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Speaking of shadows, Zach had this beautiful idea. So he's going to explain his piece in just a moment, but there are some really great shadows that I think look like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Well, you take a look. You see what you decide.
Yeah.
We'll see what it's fun.
Well, do you want to tell them what you're saying?
Sure.
Sure.
Il pescatore. Let's see. I don't know what's going on here.
I know. We can't see any comments right now on YouTube. So if you're here and you have access to the comment section, tell us hello. Tell us that you're here, because we might be having an issue.
You don't know what's going on.
So do us a solid and let us know if you're here.
Yeah. All right. I'm also going to try to open this in another window here while we're on the other one. But anyway, so yes, so this song is called Il Pescatore from La Gioconda. Yeah. And it's an opera that's not often done, and it's kind of a convoluted plot. So I'm not really going to go into it, because it's not the payoff is not that big to talk about it. But anyway, this, it has some beautiful music. It's sort of a late romantic verismo kind of feeling. So if you know anything about Cavalleria Rusticana, this aria, I think, shares a lot in common with pieces from that as well. Because there's a chorus featured and all this sort of stuff, and it's a very like personal story versus a chorus, like that kind of Greek chorus, Neo-Grecian. Anyway, so this is an aria sung by Barnaba, who is an agent of the Spanish Inquisition. And he, just like any good agent of the Spanish Inquisition, he is trying to catch people in the act, doing things that the Spanish Inquisition says are no good. And to do this, on this particular day, he is dressed himself up as a fisherman and is trying to trick everybody into thinking he's one of them. So he's also got a crony henchman with him.
You might recognize.
You'll see what that is like. And they try to infiltrate this fishing village and get them to believe that he is, or a fishing stop, I guess, on a little island. And he tries to get them to believe that he's one of them so that he can fulfill his nefarious plans. But yeah, this one was fun because we got to do different takes. So we actually got to do a little bit more storytelling stuff. We didn't play around with the light as much, in a different way. Well, you'll see.
Who's your pianist?
This is, yeah, that's right. And this is accompanied by Gabriel Rabola. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And this is my selection that I submitted to Opera on Tap Philadelphia. Clearly, I'm very nervous about sharing this with you.
It was
I
awesome.
Just keep talking and
it
talking
was great.
and talking.
Let's go to the videotape.
La canzon ve lo dicea, un pescator che attende la marea, la barca laggiù nell'acqua bassa, e tempora domani e si digiuna per mia fortuna, la mensa magra il pescator ingrassa. Siam salvi, han riso, sono 80 fra marina e bozzi, han 13 di remi e nulla più, 2 colobrine di piccolo calibro, or va con quanta lena ti resta, e dispone le svolte con la dove le macchie son più folte. O io vi rimango a fa l'ufficio mio, vanne con Dio. Oh, pescator affonda l'esca, a te l'onda sia fedel, lieto serre buona pesca, ti promette il mare e il ciel, va tranquilla cantilena per l'azzurra immensità. Una placida sirena nella rete cascherà. Col fulminate sguardi accorti, e tra le tenebre con tuoi morti, sì, da quest'isola deserta e bruna, ed è resorgere la tua fortuna. Sta in guardia, e il ravino sospetto svia, e ridi, e vigila, e canta, e spia, e canta, e spia, ridi, canta, brilla Venere serena in un ciel di voluttà, una fulgida sirena nella rete cascherà, 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 nella rete cascherà, la sirena nella rete cascherà, nella rete cascherà, 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 se cascherà.
Yay! There we go. That was awesome.
I also forgot to mention after the first one, subtitles. We had subtitles, and we could easily tune them because we could go and we could put them in exactly where they were supposed to go.
That's right.
And they're not distracting because they never screw up, which happens sometimes in live performance.
It does.
despite our best efforts.
As somebody
Yeah.
who has done super titles before, it's nerve-wracking. There
It's
are
hard.
little numbers in the music. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. But we got the comments working again. Yes,
We did.
literal
We
hats.
did. Yes, so we do. We
did have a
There
literal
were some
hat.
literal hats.
Yes.
And so this was also partly this was filmed this way because this was a brand new aria for me, and it has a lot of technical issues that are new to me. It's rangy, it's big, it's a lot of words, especially the stuff at the beginning, the recitative. And so I didn't want to get 3/4 of a way through a take, flub something, and then have to start all over again, because it's a big taxing piece. Not long, but it's just, it's big.
Yeah.
So partly it was a survival tactic to have it split into different things, and thank goodness that the aria itself lent itself to that.
With the two cameras, the asides.
Right, because half of the middle part is an aside, and there's an aside to his henchman, the little shark, the Sharquito.
Sharquito, which is Lily.
And, yeah, so that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And I think that...
It's tough.
You
was
did
weird.
a wonderful job. It was beautiful. Could have fooled me
But
that it was new.
But how do you get that shadow thing across my face? To get, like, the nefarious shadow in the background.
Oh my goodness. So
How'd you get that?
again, standing up in this space, I was standing up on a little stepladder with a tiny flashlight. That's where the toilet paper roll came in.
To focus.
To focus the light so it looked like a spotlight.
So it looked like a follow spot.
So there I was.
It's amazing.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then, so that created a really nice shadow. And then there was a happy lamp.
Yeah, like a sun lamp thing, right?
For the daytime when you were at camera 2.
Yeah, but it was also, we also made sure to put it underneath because in the ocean, right, you'd have light reflected up from underneath you, and it looked like footlights, so that was really cool.
You mentioned something earlier when you were talking about it's a big taxing piece. I didn't want to get all the way through and flub and then have to go back to the beginning. And I wanted us to talk a little bit about pre-screening recordings that we have to do for auditions that our audience might not know about.
Yeah, that's a common thing in the opera world, and a lot of performing arts is that there's a lot of, you have to capture yourself digitally and then submit that, and it's not just about your performance, it's about really the polish of everything that goes into it as well. So those are nerve-wracking to say the least, because they can also be relatively expensive to do.
And that just ups the ante. So you hire a pianist, which is all of these things you hire these people for because they're pros, right? They're the best at what they do. So, and you want it to look good. So not only do you have to prepare yourself for these pre-screenings that all have different requirements. Generally, you record 4 or 5 different pieces.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot in like an hour or 2 time frame.
To change to different characters and try to make them convincing on camera.
Yeah.
Which, you can't hide anywhere at all.
No. You have a pianist in the room with you a lot of times. Obviously not during COVID, but...
recently not so much.
Yeah. A while back, and then moving forward, I think we're getting back into that, thankfully. And also a sound and video crew.
And then you just
A
got
lot
to
of the
sort of
time.
trust that they are doing what they're supposed to do, which is a tough thing to do.
Yeah. So yeah, now that we're in Philly, we don't know of any people like that. But at the same time, look what we have done in the past year and a half.
We've learned some
here.
questions to ask and some things to look for.
Yeah, exactly. Or we
So-
can do it ourselves. Heyo. Maybe not. We'll hire out.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot.
So all of that just to submit for a pre-screen to see if you can be invited back to audition in person.
So this is very different.
Yeah, this is very different.
We got to play around and do all crazy stuff. But I think there's some things that we might be able to take over into that.
Definitely.
Like colorizing the film. and doing things like that. We can't do different takes. We're not allowed to change cameras or anything like that. You just got to be, because they want to know that you're able to get through the music.
Yeah.
Like that you physically can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of defeats the purpose when you are cutting back and forth between multiple cameras.
That's right.
And completely different lighting scenarios. Like, if it wasn't obvious that those didn't string together from some of my antics, it was definitely, hopefully it was very clear, because it was like bright, and then it was like dark shadows.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I mean, there's that was one of those things that you could do on film that you just can't do, live in your home.
That's right.
It's kind of cool.
If you have any questions at all during what we're talking about, this crazy process, pop them into the comments. We'd love to answer your questions. So we're going to check those now, actually. Nope, everything's good.
No questions.
No questions yet.
Oh, wait, this is top chat, not live chat. There we go.
What?
Oh, no, same.
Oh, same. Okay, cool. I was going to say, what is happening with our comment section? The last one we're going to be talking about is also a piece that I've done live here on the show. It's Ain't It a Pretty Night from Susanna by Carlisle Floyd. Talk about a big piece of music. I've been working on this one for quite a while. I put it away for a while, didn't touch it, and then recently, within the past couple months or so, I've dusted it off, and I wanted to try it again. And it feels really good, because that's what happens when you do the work and fix some issues. But this piece I think it's pretty self-explanatory when you go through it. So Susanna, she has moved to this town, and there's a lot that happens. So I'm basically just going to give you cliff notes of what happens in the aria. She's blown away by the stars. It starts by her looking up in the stars and saying, "Ain't it a pretty night?" She is just taken aback by the beauty of nature. So that's how it starts, and she has her companion, Little Bat, with her, which is a human, not a little bat. And
so there's not another cameo.
There's no other cameos, I'm sorry. And she's inspired by nature and in the place that she's in. And she says, you know what? I'm going to be more than I am right now someday. But I'm going to move away from this place, but I can come back to it. I would miss the beauty. I'm going to come back to it. And we actually recorded this one first. And Zach had the brilliant idea.
Well, don't tell him anything.
Oh! Okay, I'll save it. I'll save it. So, enjoy it, and then we'll talk about it. Yay. Just think those stars can all peep down and see way beyond where we can. They can see way beyond the mountains to Nashville and Asheville and Knoxville. I wonder what it's like out there beyond the mountains, where the folks talk nice and the folks dress nice, like you see in the mail order catalogs. I'm to leave this valley someday and find out for myself, to see all the tall buildings and all the street lights, and to be one of them folks myself. I wonder if I get lonesome for the valley though, for the sound of crickets and the smell of pine straw, for soft little rabbits and blooming things, and the mountains turning on in the fall. But I could always come back if I got homesick for the valley. So I'll leave it someday and see for myself. Someday I'll leave and then I'll come back when I've seen what's beyond the mountains. Ain't it a pretty night? The sky seems so heavy with stars tonight that it could fall right down out of heaven and cover us up and cover us all up in one big blanket of velvet and diamonds. Looks like a spotlight, doesn't it?
There was a spotlight involved. But guess what time of day we filmed that?
The middle of the day.
Noon. It was bright sunlight. So thanks again, video editing software, for being able to make it look like it was preset stage lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was looking at it, I was like, that looks good.
And of course, I was like, gotta fix that. Oh, need a teacher to fix that. Okay. We are truly our own worst critics. But no, it felt more like performing live, just with a little flashlight. Did you find that too when you were doing yours?
No, because I was trying to do too many things all at once.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So the wider spot that didn't move, that was completely just a video effect.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it's like a thing called like a window or a halo, and you just pull down the light outside of the window, and you let the light shine through the window, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And then the way that the fade ins and fade outs to make it actually look like a light, like slowly turning off. Again, these little
So
things
good.
that we just can't do that just make it feel like you're watching
A live
performance. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. So that is also sort of this weird conundrum. It's more practiced. Not that we don't practice for this show, but it's more everything is more deliberate. Every
You can
single
redo
element.
it.
Yet it feels live
Mm-hmm.
when it's really done like that. Which is such a weird paradox.
Is it as fulfilling? No. It's not. I would rather have a live audience,
But then-
especially in front of me.
But then it's also captured.
Yeah,
So,
there are trade-offs, I think, for sure. But those were our 3 videos. Then we hope you learned something about lighting and videos. And if you have any questions, as always, pop them in the chat. Whether it be here on our YouTube page, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, because then it will notify you when we do go live. Yeah.
that's right, it will.
As always, keep sharing and telling people about Perk and Bark. We might have some merch in the works sometime soon. Maybe a coffee mug or 2. We shall see. What? I know. But in the meantime, you can subscribe to our Patreon. You can go to...
Oh no, I messed it up.
Why?
We can't get to the Patreon thing.
Oh no, that's okay. You go to patreon.com/perkandbark. No ampersand, written all out. It's also on our Facebook page. There's a little button on there that will take you there. Is it on our YouTube?
Yeah, somewhere. Did you look for a little
around.
Patreon logo?
But we always upload the theme of the week there first. There are also fun little tidbits on there as well. And you can support us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. We're going to be bringing in some... Nope, didn't know where I was going with that. Sorry, it's been a long week.
I don't know what you were going with
We
that.
are going to be starting to coach and take lessons, hopefully in person soon, which will help us polish our repertoire for the show. We also have an opera in the works.
Yes.
Yeah, that we'll be exploring. So you get all the info, the inside scoop on Patreon first.
And now we're good at video, and our taxes are almost done. So we're going to have time to put all of the things that we've sung so far on the show. And we're approaching 50 shows. We're getting close to the Patreon library. So there's going to be a library of videos there for you lovely subscribers.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. We should let these fine people to their Sunday.
Yeah. Go let them go and enjoy the rest of the day.
That's right. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.